AMS2 Automobilista 2 has had its V1.5 update a month ago roughly, but recently the beta has gotten an update which has changed everything quite a bit more. So today, since the beta is not for media, I can make videos on it, and that's why I'm here today, because today I'm going to drive the Formula USA 2023 around Long Beach in the base game and in the beta, and see what the big deal is and what the big difference is of the new physics. So let's get into it. Okay, so now we're in the sim, and let's see how it handles. So obviously Long Beach, which you might be able to see, and also when you drive you will feel it quite a bit, is a very bumpy track. And yeah, as you saw there, you need to really think about drive. You need to really focus, because you might crash, which is obviously not good. And I have to also remember this is not a Formula 1 car, so this won't have the braking performance of one. But you can see it's jumping and skipping a lot over here. So yeah, it's quite interesting. And you also hear the tire squeal. You also hear quite a lot. And there you go. I could get on the throttle easily, even, but in a, I think in V1.5 that wouldn't have been wouldn't been possible, because the big thing with V1.5 was that it made the cars have more grip and felt more connected to the road, so you slid a lot less. But this car feels like it's very grippy on the surface. Even though I maybe make a few mistakes, but that happens. But the cars feel really nice in the normal version to drive. And if you're wondering what FFB I'm running the new Daniel Kart V200 file, which is available on the forums. It's a really nice one. And I can't attack the curbs as much as I want to. But that's an interesting thing. We know that obviously it's a Formula car, so it's an Indy car, so it will run a bit low, and obviously those are quite aggressive curbs, so you can't hit them as much. But let's get into the beta and see how good it handles there. Okay, so now we're in the car again, and let's see how good it is, because Renato said it would be not a minor difference, but quite a substantial one. I forgot to change the FFB file in here, but the car feels a lot more lively now. Maybe it could be that the grip levels have been changed, and what I mean by that is that going over the limit maybe is a bit more punishing now. But the car, yeah, feels a lot more lively. Feels a lot livelier. And you can just easily get on the power. I don't know, it still feels a bit odd. feels quite impossible to lock the brakes. But they've also changed the range of it, of the optimal brake pressure. But the car, it feels quite a bit different. Yeah, this car feels a lot livelier, which is what I'd hoped for it to be, because you see on the replay, on the onboards, that the car because it doesn't have any power steering, you feel everything, and it also looks a lot livelier than an F1 car. And then feeling everything whilst driving on this, which is one of the bumpiest tracks, if not the bumpiest track in the game, then it is quite fun. You can also see I'm also having an easier time controlling the car, which could be quite a positive. Trying to drive quite aggressively, trying to maximize the space I have. There, I got the bad exit. But the gears feel really long in this car. Either the gears are very long or the RPMs are not building up that quickly. Because it feels like the engine is very slow revving. Come on now. In first gear, it doesn't feel like it's just pushing, it feels like you're just bogging down a bit. It doesn't feel like it wants to go. That seems very odd to me. There, I got a bit over the limit. Seemed getting close to the wall there. Maybe let's try with these with tires at optimum temperatures. That I caught the car. Over those curbs. So it still feels a bit odd over there, but I screwed up in the last sector. Still, this car feels a lot more fun to drive, a lot livelier. So let's leave this here and go to Fontana and drive the Formula USA Gen 2, because I've heard that car has also had some good changes. Okay, so now we are in Fontana, in the Formula Ultimate Gen 2 with the Mercedes-Benz engine. Though I don't know what layout it's using. Turbo lag, I sense. Oof. I remember I drove this car. I've driven it a little bit. I remember once I drove, I think, one of them around here. You're really drifting out. I'm not so good at oval stuff, which you'll probably sense, but from let's see if the things from which I've sensed. Yeah, it seems like maybe the things which I've been talking about with the Formula USA 2023 can be correlated to this, because I'm trying to go tightly, maybe a bit too tight, and then trying to turn a lot, and then I'm just drifting outwards, which could mean that maybe you couldn't, the things I've been trying to do, or like you can't just push the car through, because there have been talks about this endless amount of steering, that when you're turning for a long corner, you don't get understeer, oversteer, the car just grips, and you can just turn the wheel an infinite amount and it still grips. Whilst here, it doesn't seem that way. Or we can try it a bit through the next corner to see. Okay, so I'm having here, going oval, and then I'm turning, and you can see I didn't have a constantly gripped actually. But let's see here. I'm going through here, going, and then, okay, so I can turn. I'm not sure if that's correct or not, but it seems like I can. Maybe I'm just not turning enough through those corners. Yeah, you see there, I turned a lot and actually lost time. And that's sort of what you want. Because if you're turning too much, you shouldn't, then you should lose time, because you don't want, because of, I think, I'm not sure, but that's what comes through my head, that you want it to not be able to turn endlessly, and you want you want the driver to be rewarded for not driving over the limit. It seems like that they grip a lot. You people who are watching this can comment down below and tell me how if this is what's happening in the base game, or if you're just drifting in the base game. Because I remember there was this big thing about Indianapolis that you were drifting a lot, and I think I also had issues about drifting around here too. I'm not sure, but the tires are very grippy. If that shows a big difference or not, I'm not sure, because I'm not so fond of ovals. I just sound like a typical European. But yeah, that's my opinion. But a car which currently, I know, feels a bit odd, can be I've heard is the GT3. So let's stay in America and go to Road America and see how the GT3 handled. Okay, so now we are actually driving. Now we are driving it again. I wasn't looking, but now I'm driving the AMG around Road America. And let's see if what people are reporting is actually true. I've heard that they're saying the GT3s love oversteering, and that they also have, I think they said, love oversteering, and I've also heard good things about the traction control actually working. I thought I overshot it there. I think I would have overshot it if it was a previous version. But as I said, they widened apparently the usable gaps of... Okay, when you brake on a brake, the brake pad obviously gets hot due to friction. But then due to this friction, the brake performance normally loses. It now becomes worse. So what I've heard they have done is that actual window of brake performance, where of brake temperature where the performance is optimum, has been widened, which probably means that you can hold the brakes on for longer without actually having any issues. There I accidentally overshot it. But to me, it seems like yes, they are a bit oversteery, because, but I wouldn't say that's too abnormal. Because from what I've seen, GT3, because obviously they have TC and a lot of these things, you're still able to have oversteer sometimes in them, which from what I sense here is what's actually happening. Is that yes, they are quite planted, but you can still get oversteer. And I think it was through the mid corner some people reported it. Some people were saying that mad oversteer, which I don't fully understand after driving it a little bit here. But these cars feel quite nice. Yeah, you could see that I stamped on the gas on the throttle. Yes, I'm becoming American. But I stamped on the throttle and I got a bit of oversteer. So it could be maybe that that how much lateral degrees you need for it to activate has been changed. But still it feels quite alright. Feels good. Doesn't feel too bad. Feels really good actually. I like the cars now. I remember I think that they were a bit too planted somehow before. Because in my opinion, without any actual facts, GT3 cars shouldn't be super planted and you're not able to do anything with them. If you're really pushing them, you should still be able to spin and have some issues. If it's what's it called? If it's reasonable, like if you're there you should actually lose. You shouldn't just be planted and have no issues at all. Road America is a lot longer than I thought. And it's a lot more fun than I thought. From the layout and everything, I thought it would be a basic layout. But then if you drive obviously a good car around here, it's a lot of fun. You could see there I had some wheel spin. Seems like I'm doing a good job. Temperatures aren't that high. Let's push it again at 200. That's a new thing, it seems. Usually I have to modulate the brake a bit more, but now I could ride the ABS a bit more. Could still be a placebo, but that's what I'm experiencing. Interesting, yeah, through here you have to try maximize throttle and not have a moment like that. Oh well, so to me it seems like the GT3s are nice, but for the sake of it being, or just being the in being the F1 Grand Prix at Monza and also a different car having TC, let's take the Formula V10 Gen 2 around Monza. Okay, so now we're here, and why I'm choosing this is because it doesn't have any ABS, so we are going to see if the braking is a bit good, and also the traction control, because I've heard from a certain person that he had to really change his driving style with this car. The tread looks a bit not straight. But before everything we're going, we have to listen to that amazing V10 engine. So let's take a drive. I would. This is so fun to drive because I really like this because they were so nimble and also so nice, so good noise, such a good noise. If I got tinnitus or got deaf, the only thing I would really miss is the V10 engine and the Wankel engine, not the voices of people. I feel like I can push this car really. It has a ton of grip. But still you can block the brakes up. So it could also be that just maybe a few of them have problems with the brakes, or this car hasn't changed. I'm not sure. I think this car has changed. I read the curbs a bit too much through there. I love the sound of this. I could sleep to it. Going down the straight until no DRS, so we can just see. And let's listen to the braking. I braked a bit too early through there. This car sounds awesome. I can really understand now why the guy who loves driving this actually does. I think I've also fallen in love now. I've never thought about how good this car actually is. You don't have to care about bloody hybrids. You don't have to care about them. Only the V10 noise. So much better than the Formula Ultimate Gen 2's noise. But this car is really fun to drive. Because you never get bored of that goddamn noise. And you still get oversteer when going on throttle. Maybe it's a bit too little, but still this car's traction control, so that's actually good. I could do laps in this car around any circuit for a long time. That just a bit of what's it called, slip angle through there. And this car is beautiful. finally good exit for Ascari into Parabolica. I just love this car. Can't get enough of it. But what do you think about the update? Does it seem good? Does it seem bad? Comment down below. While you're down there, please hit the like button and also subscribe. My next video, we'll see what it will be on. It might be on a new car, or a new car. It might be another sort of car review. We'll see. Maybe Razer drop a bombshell in the beta, which I can talk about. But hopefully I can, and it's not for media. But until then, I've been Racing Lady. You've been my amazing viewers. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.